Now, the thing about these videos is I always put a disclaimer because, you know, in terms of actual state laws and whatnot, I'm always a bit cautious. I don't know too much about the exact state laws, which is why I take all the precautions of, you know, putting out a disclaimer, and I make sure I get everyone's consent in regards to publishing these videos on YouTube. Other than that, there's no stooges, no weird crap. You're getting exactly what you get. So let's continue on. You better do it.
My name is Fred.
As you can tell, I have a lot of fun putting
Katie,
these
nice
together.
to meet you. Now, for everyone on the internet, we haven't prearranged anything, so you don't know what to expect. Yeah?
Now, right there, because I go up cold turkey whenever I go approach a group of people. So I approach a group, give someone a camera, or I isolate that individual that I'm going to designate who's going to hold my camera. Because what I do is I look at a group, see what they're like, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a cool batch. They're YouTube worthy. So I pick someone out, pull them aside and say, hey, you don't mind helping me out? You're gonna just hold on to this camera. We're gonna have a good time. I'll be doing some crazy You're gonna record all of that. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then from there, all the reaction that you see are genuine. So there's no setup or anything. So the moments of confusion, because if you really think about it, that question is kind of a weird question. You never ask to another person, oh, you know, and someone you've initially met, because for them, TV, the world of TV and stuff, they're not too familiar with. They don't get that there's an audience out there that speculates and comes up with all kinds of things. You know, they don't really process that, which is why it takes people, most people that I've found, several seconds to process that question and answer accordingly. So, conspiracy theory number 1, busted. Let's move on.
How's that feel?
Really creepy.
How's that feel as that floats up?
Oh my god. That's creepy.
Nothing, you never experienced anything like this. All right, so here's what we'll do. Just face forward like this. Awesome, so we can all see. And I'm gonna have you close your eyes nice and tight. Go and lock them shut.
Oh my god.
How do your eyelids feel as you try to open them?
Between the cuts
They're
that you
heavy and
see,
you're
there's
really
really
trying.
nothing a whole
No
lot
joke,
that
you're
goes
feeling
on. It's
this?
just
Not
pretty much
playing along,
pure dead
really
silence.
experiencing this. Never experienced
Only
anything
like
this?
maybe 1 to
Do you
2
expect this to
seconds
work
of
for you
nothing.
initially?
If it's just repositioning
You're
someone,
gonna feel this.
you know,
The pop right up.
it's filler when it comes to the YouTube pacing, which is why I kind of speed it up.
Clever trip.
So future projects,
Step a little
when I want to
closer
make
this
it a
way.
whole continuous thing, you
Just gonna
know,
go like this. Look right here.
I'm gonna really push
Just gonna
for it.
sleep. All the way down. Just sleeping, sleeping. Even more. Feeling good.
So
Even
everything
further,
like
even further,
you see,
even further.
even
Now,
though there's
next time
cuts
you
in
open up your
between,
eyes,
everything
next time you
happens
open
like
up your
that in
eyes,
real time. It goes by that quickly.
Your first name is just simply gone from your mind. 3, eyes open, bring stuff back in. How you feeling?
Weird.
Feeling weird?
Yeah.
And your name? No clue? Do you have a nickname?
Yeah.
What's your nickname?
Katie.
Katie? What's your name then? Katie? Well, what is your name?
As you can tell, Katie is not her real name.
Wait,
It's
Katie's
actually
your
her
nickname?
nickname.
But
It's
what-
my nickname, yeah.
It's your nickname,
I
but
have
what's
a
your
real name.
But what's your real name?
Even her
No
friend
problem.
doesn't know what her real name
I don't
is.
know, she's
So
never told me that before, actually.
She never did.
there, go.
Okay, your real name's gonna come right back. What's your real name?
Caitlin.
Caitlin. So Kate. What was your first name? Your real
It
name?
was Caitlin.
that was a trippy
Caitlin?
moment.
Now it's gone.
personally,
What was it?
so, yeah.
But I mean, Katie made sense. But first name? No, doesn't ring a bell. I got you. Name's just coming right back, and you're just gonna sleep.
Now,
Sleep.
one of the comments that we got was the cameraman was so loud or laughing. Just tell her to shut. You know, you can obviously tell that when there's a cut like that, you know, you gotta cut some of that excess noise out because you don't want ear cancer for your viewers. So I did that for your consideration. So you're welcome.
Stand, sleeping, standing, sleeping, and standing. Next time you open up your eyes, I have a freeze gun, and when I shoot the freeze gun at you, you're gonna freeze in that exact place, exact position as you were last. Eyes open for yourself. How you feeling, Caitlin?
A little despicable me
Awesome.
moment. It's great.
So we got some
a
some
lot of
awesome
those.
dance moves. So can you do like some kind of any kind of dance moves? What's going on?
I like can't move.
You can't move.
I think there was like some fiesta or something going on during this.
Why can't you move?
So there was like music blasting. That was outside my
Unfreeze.
control.
You'll
But
move just
hey,
fine.
at least it isn't copyright, so that's
this is
good.
one of your dance moves. What's your best dance move?
So a little laser beam, yeah. But there's some people that catch little things like that. I like to throw little nuggets in my videos. So if you catch them, great. If you don't, well, whatever. Now you know what to look out for.
And you're really frozen.
Yeah.
You're really frozen. So if I were to tell you to try to grab this, you can't.
Right here, this segment right here is what my agent told me was the most controversial. I've addressed this comment to some people when I got back, but this is where all the, oh my gosh, this is proof that this stuff is fake comes in. Because as you noticed with a lot of the stuff that I've done, most of it's nonverbal, which means just a snap or just a, just me mentally saying something. I don't have to do a thing. I could just stare at someone and for something to happen. I do that. That's called nonverbal hypnosis. Not everyone can do it, and that's why I teach a specific course that goes through every little aspect of what I do in terms of hypnosis and just the overarching thing that makes it easier for an individual that I teach to do hypnosis on their own, because everyone has different styles. Some things work for them, some things don't. In my case, if I feel lazy, which most of the time in this case I really was, I don't really say anything at all. Like, you don't have to like say freeze, unfreeze. You can just go like freeze, now it's gone. Because what I'm thinking in my head when it comes to hypnotizing people is if I mentally give someone a command, they're going to do it, because I'm communicating with their unconscious mind. Now, if I mentally say, okay, you're free, which you're going to see here, because you're not going to hear, okay, unfreeze. You're not going to hear that. That's the first section. That's just for the sake of theatricality and everything else, because what you say most of the time matters to an extent, but in this case, because I implement nonverbals, not a whole lot. That's where a lot of the confusion happens, which you're going to see here.
No.
You're really trying. That's super weird. Okay, you can have that
right there. I paused just a little bit right there. I did do a snap, but the mic couldn't catch it up. Look at that distance between the lapel mic and my hand. You think it's going to catch that sound? Not exactly. And the lapel mic, I mean, it's a pretty decent mic, but it's not going to catch a whole lot because it's got that little, muffle guard to protect from the wind and stuff. That snap was right there, and I paused exactly where to look for, so you can go frame by frame and see in that general section that I pointed out, there was a snap that undid the command.
Go and pop that all the way off. What? Go on, yeah.
Take my shoe
Yeah,
off.
yeah. Just go and take it off. There's a little. There you go. There you go. Let's get that. We'll take care of it. We'll make sure that will fly away. Just look here. I got you. Just sleep. Sleep and stand. Sleeping and stand. Sleeping and standing. Next time you open up your eyes, Caitlin. Next time you open up your eyes, the first object I show you will be the most adorable puppy you've ever seen. You'll love it. You'll cherish it. It'll love you back. You're gonna feel great. Nod your head nice and big if you understand. 1, 2, 3. Eyes open. Bring yourself back in. What kind of puppy are you got there?
Golden retriever.
Golden retriever? What are you gonna?
Now the Rolly thing, that was also a first for me as well, but her reaction was indeed genuine. Now, I don't know if she's ever owned a dog before or not, but it is a possibility because she doesn't have that experience. That's probably why that rotation happened. Might be to simulate that the dog was rolling in her hands, because sometimes little puppies they just don't stay still. So those are just possible theories, because for the most part, whenever I do this bit and when I hypnotize people, they don't really rotate anything that they're holding. They kind of see mentally where the legs are and stuff. But in this case, I'm assuming might have done a little roll, and she did whatever she could just to keep it from falling. And as you can tell, she cherishes it like a freaking baby,
Lucy.
like in this video.
Lucy. And that's yours and yours alone.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It wants to lick you. It wants to lick you. It's a slimy octopus.
Oh.
No. It's a golden retriever.
That's so funny.
Isn't that cute? It's weird. And this is it is what it is.
It's just
What-
hilarious how
why-
the
why-
music
why
just
holding your shoe? Why-
works. I don't.
Why holding your shoe?
God, it's just luck.
No?
A lot of luck.
No reason? No, no,
behind
why?
this.
No? How'd you end up with that shoe? Huh.
I don't know.
Weird. The next time you open up your eyes, Kaylin, the next time you open up your eyes.
Oh, and for those conspiracy theorists out there that look specifically at facial reactions, first of all, you can't read faces that well. Not as well as I have, or anyone else that specializes in this specific field. Now, if you notice that particular face, it's like, people think, they make assumptions. One conspiracy theory is, oh, I can tell because her face is that. It's clearly, she's cringing on the inside, whatever, that kind of stuff. But that face was the same face that she had in the very beginning when we had all this stuff happen, when I had her fall forward, when I lifted her hand. That's her basically a baseline of what kind of face she would have in response to something unusual. So, it's a genuine freak out reaction.
You will see me as Leonardo DiCaprio. 2, 3, eyes open, bring yourself back in. How you doing?
Oh, and you noticed a little cut right from the Leonardo DiCaprio little wake up scene. What I do is, this is out of an old habit, and I've been trying to break it for a long time. I've been doing pretty good with it recently, but there's a thing called compounding. So compounding is when you just say the same stuff over and over and over and over. It's an old hypnosis technique. It only works when you get them into a trance-like state. Now, with compounding, in this case for a YouTube video, it's very monotonous. So, like I said, every little cut, it usually, the gap in between is at most probably 3 seconds. And those 3 seconds will really cause your audience to be a little more detached. So little things like that is, why I cut videos. And also, like I said, with my previous read the comments, the camera that I used for this video in particular and some of the other ones is a Nikon D3100, which is it's not a video camera, it's a photo camera. So the video capabilities are limited on that thing. So after a 10-minute time frame, it cuts off automatically. So even if I try to do a continuous thing for, like, let's say if I did a session for 20 minutes, maybe an hour, it just cuts off after 10 minutes and I have to resync everything and it gets annoying. So for now, you're going to be experiencing a lot of cuts to compensate for that. My hopes is to, for now, my compromise is to minimize everything that goes down in a span of 10 minutes. And then from there, when I get a new camera, because I'm going to go with a friend of mine to get a new one, you're going to see a long, continuous video, uncut it, no cuts. I'm going to try to keep everything exactly as is because of the pacing. And I've gotten a lot better with the pacing in terms of just going out and working with people because everyone responds differently. It's just a matter of experience. And I've been doing this for over 10 years. So it's even till now, it's not perfect in my eyes. Everything that you see here is not perfect. But by far, this video is one of my favorites.
You doing okay?
Now, I was really worried for her right here. I don't know if she was going to break into tears, but it looks like she was. And she actually was shaking, so it's...
You doing alright? Oh my gosh.
And also, tears streaming down, her eyes would send the wrong message. Considering the fact that recently there was an article that came out of this one creeper on an airline that touched one of those stewardesses, and the claim was that he was an unemployed hypnotist. So the media was like, "Oh, this is something we can jump on," and the media is notorious for stabbing and shutting down hypnotists, doing that kind of stuff. And he wasn't even a hypnotist. No one can even confirm, but we do know that he's like mentally unstable. Just little things like that. Just want to throw a little tangent there. And just to let the world know, not all hypnotists are jerks. This guy cares about the people that he works with. And I respect women.
Don't worry, I got you. Take a deep breath. You got this. You got it. It's all good. So, yeah, what... So what's the... Just kind of walk me through it, like,
A little bit.
if you got some things to say,
You're gorgeous.
Thank you. I mean, winning that Oscar it was tough. It was a long journey. Were you there? You were there with me that whole loyal supporter, loyal.
So
fan?
that's a response of genuine shock. People, one of the things in the comments is like, "Oh, wouldn't you take a selfie?" No. If you really respected that person, you don't want to just blow your chance right away and ask for a selfie. In her case, she had a freaking, anxiety. Well, just shock of pure awe and happiness. You don't know what she's going through. And if you were in her shoes, you may behave differently. Yeah, maybe you're more chill than how she is when she meets someone that, is just that amazing to them, So do keep that in mind and don't make assumptions.
We appreciate that. Wow. You need a hug? Okay, I'll give you a hug. It's all good. You good? You're still shaking. It's all good. You okay? You're doing good? An autograph? Is that something you want? So go and hold your hand out, just like that. And it's gonna just a little prick's gonna send you to sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep.
That's the compounding I was talking about.
All right. When I count to 3 and reach 3, all hypnotic suggestions will be removed except for this. You're going to feel great, wonderful, and energized, full of energy.
If you haven't
full of
noticed
life,
already, I
full
do
of
this with all my
confidence.
subjects.
Every single waking day of your life, you'll always have a good night's sleep. You'll wake up full of energy, full of confidence, allowing you to do
Sometimes
just about
I do this
anything.
because it's
However,
always fun.
you're not going to remember anything
But,
that's happened
you
at
don't want
all.
to repeat
In fact,
too
you
much.
just walked onto the beach, and you're just staring off into the pier, and you just don't know what happened. You won't remember anything that's happened within the next few minutes unless if you shake my hand. When you shake my hand, all your memories flood back. You will feel empowered. You will feel great. You will feel amazed because this is proof that if you set your mind to it, you can do just about anything. And that's my gift from me to you. Nod your head nice and big if you understand. Full of energy, slowly straightening yourself out, feeling good. And 3, wide awake. How you feeling?
Good.
Good. So, quick little interview here. So, right this way. So, do you remember anything that's happened within the past few minutes?
I'm standing here.
You were standing here?
Yeah.
What were you doing before you're standing here?
Walked onto the beach.
Walked on the beach? How long ago was that?
5 seconds ago.
5 seconds ago? Okay, so 5 seconds ago you just walked on the beach and that's it? No, nothing at all? And do you know who I am? No? Not at all? My name's Fred. Your name?
That blank
Remember
face
everything
is
now?
just priceless.
Isn't that crazy?
When all the memories come back. It's always
Talk to us,
crazy.
what was that?
It was creepy. I saw Leonardo DiCaprio.
You did? No way!
Yeah.
Like in the flesh and everything. That's rad. That's super awesome. Was there any other stuff that went down?
Saw a puppy.
Saw a puppy?
It's adorable. And then an
Adorable.
octopus.
An octopus?
Yeah.
How'd that, they all felt so real and stuff? Like, what would you say the octopus felt like?
Slimy. Gross.
And the puppy?
Adorable and soft and like a little baby.
See, what other stuff do you remember doing?
I remember kind of feeling weightless.
Kind of feeling weightless.
Mm-hmm.
Any dance moves and stuff, or?
I did the floss. And I did.
So were you frozen in place at some point? Or
So notice
Okay,
how
remember-
it kind of
Oh, you
goes
can
in
move.
ascending order.
So
of
you
what was
remember all
most
of that
vivid to
vividly.
her,
And how do you feel?
That's how memory is weird like that. Some people like to. It's selective.
great?
Selective memory is
Caitlin,
what
really appreciate
this
you.
is-
Thank you
the
so
terminology
much.
is called.
Say
They
goodbye
like
to the
to
internet.
pick out certain things that was most interesting to them. Because if anyone were to tell a story, to tell the most interesting parts, not necessarily the boring things. But if their story is mostly boring, but if there's something kind of interesting, they try to embellish it. In this case, she just pointed out all the stuff that really stood out to her, and that's something that she would most likely want to talk about. So there's that. If you like the stash and the mullet was cool. Well, rat tail, whatever you want to call it. Good times, good times. Anyways, that's basically the whole video in a nutshell. So if you liked what you saw, obviously do what the video told you to do earlier, which is like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you want to see a whole video uninterrupted, eye icon right there so you can enjoy it just for the sake of it as is. That's the entire video. If you guys liked what you saw, be sure to like, share, and subscribe just as the video mentioned earlier. Be sure to ring the bell icon and be patient. There's going to be more cool stuff coming out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.